everyone, welcome back to my channel, your friendly space to learn machine learning in the simplest way possible. In our last video, we discussed what our decision tree is, how it works, and how we build it using entropy and Gini index. And today, it's time to bring that theory to life. We will implement our decision tree step by step and even visualize how it makes decisions in real time. Let's get started. Before we jump into coding, let's do a quick recap and see how decision trees actually work in real life. Imagine you are deciding what to eat today. First question, are you craving something healthy or tasty? If healthy, maybe a salad or sandwich. If tasty, maybe pizza or burger. That's the logic of a decision tree. A series of simple yes no questions that lead to smart decisions. Let's see how we can make a computer think like this. Let's start. Here we import small utilities and define our tiny dataset. This dataset models the question, what should I eat today? Each example has three features, craving, light and spicy, and a label which is the food choice. Keep datasets small and simple when you are learning. It makes the logic visible. This function computes entropy, a measure of how mixed a set of labels is. If all labels are the same, entropy is zero. If labels are mixed, entropy is higher. We use the formula. I will show a quick example next to make it obvious. Information gain measures how much entropy is reduced by splitting on a feature. We compute base entropy of the whole set, split the data by feature values and take the weighted average entropy of the parts. The difference is the information gained by that split. The feature with highest gain is our best question. This tiny helper returns the most common label in a subset. We use it as a fallback when we can't split further or if we run out of features. Here, we create a simple node class to represent tree nodes. A node can be an internal node storing the feature to split on and children, or a leaf node that stores the final label. We also include a toDict helper for saving the tree as JSON. This is the heart of ID3. For the given instances, if all labels are the same, return a leaf. If no features remain, return the majority label as a leaf. Otherwise, compute information gain for every feature and pick the best. Partition the data by the chosen feature and recursively build child nodes. If no split improves the information, we also return a majority label leaf. Now we add prediction logic. Predict traverses the tree for an input example, following the child according to the feature value until it reaches a leaf and returns the label. If we encounter a feature value the tree has not seen before, we fall back to the majority label among the node's children. Print tree is a human-friendly printer, handy for demonstrations. Let's train the tree on our tiny dataset now. After building, we print a readable tree so you can see which feature was chosen at the root and the resulting leaves. Next, we run a few sample predictions, including one unseen combination to show how the tree behaves. Finally, we save the tree as JSON so you can load it later. Alright, now we have reached the main section of our program. This is where everything actually runs. The line if name equals main just means only execute this code when the file is run directly, not when it is imported as a module. The first print statement says part A, ID3 from scratch, training on tiny dataset. That's just a header so our output looks organized. Next we call build tree. This function goes through our dataset and constructs the decision trees using the ID3 algorithm we wrote earlier. Then print tree displays our trained tree in a simple text format showing each question or feature split and the final labels at the leaves. You can see here how it first splits on craving and then branches into healthy or tasty options exactly like our real life examples. Now we print another section titled sample predictions. We have created a few test cases in a list called tests. Each dictionary here represents a situation like someone craving healthy and light food or someone craving tasty and spicy food. The for loop goes through each of these test causes and prints the model's prediction by calling predict. So this is where we actually see our decision tree making decisions. Once that's done, we save our trained decision tree structure into a JSON file named dtree from scratch.json. This is a really good practice because now we can reuse the same trained tree later without rebuilding it every time. Finally, we print a confirmation message that says the decision tree has been saved successfully. And that's it for today's session. We have successfully implemented a decision tree from scratch, tested it with some examples. I hope you now understand not just how decision tree works, but also how to actually build and use them in real projects. If you enjoyed this tutorial, don't forget to hit the like button. It really helps support the channel. So keep learning, keep coding, and keep exploring the world of data science. Thank you for watching. Bye bye everyone. See you in the next video.